Hello everyone, my name is Ali. I am one of the founders at Scatable, and this is the demo for what we are building and what we are trying to build at Scatable. First of all, I want to talk about where the idea comes from, and I've been working a lot with different softwares like Ignition and different SCADA systems, and always there's this question that why are these systems so outdated and why are they so old? And that's where Scatable comes into play. Scatable stands for Scalable SCADA, and we're trying to have a different and a new approach to the SCADA industry and to be able to revolutionize it and make it better for everyone. The first question is, what is SCADA? Let's just go through this real quick. SCADA is the interface between a hardware device and a user application, right? The goal is to be able to connect these two and get real-time data through the system so that we will be able to monitor this device, be able to display the device, like observe the values and everything that's happening in the device, and collect it, right? It stands for supervisory control and data acquisition. And if I want to give you an example, let's say is if we have a battery and this battery is has real-time sensors, right? There's temperature, there is state of charge, there is like current, there is ampere, there's all these different things, and these all need to be monitored live, right? That's where the SCADA system comes in. It's the layer between these, right? And if you want to look at the SCADA market and the IoT market specifically, there is going to be continuous growth in these markets throughout the next couple of years. How it's going to trend, maybe it's not going to be linear, but the start and endpoints have been estimated by like big statistics or like predicting firms, if that makes sense. And so the future of it is really big and it's growing, right? Especially with Trump bringing all of the factories to America. North America is going to need a big demand for solutions that will require SCADA systems, and having this is important. The challenges and the issues that with SCADAs are like really common, and us as Scatable, we're trying to fix it for everyone. The first one is that these different devices and different assets around the world require different protocols to work with, right? Some work with MQTT, some work with DMP3, others work with other protocols, and then each one of these and those communication protocols, they have different ways they have to be decoded to read these data, and this causes a scalability issue, right? Like the systems, let's say like Ignition, for example, worked really well for our for one device when at my old company, and then when we had 2 or 3, it would have issues. We have scalability issues. The system was restart once a week because of the heap memory usage and everything. And so efficiency was, first of all, at an issue there. Second of all, it wasn't a good solution. We had to make multiple servers or multiple instances for each device to be able to handle this. Like on paper, yes, they say it's really easy to use and it's really simple and everything, but when you look at it from the back, it's not good. And also these different apps have separate requirements, right? Some are trying to just build a dashboard to monitor the assets. Some are making a control panel to control it. Some are embedding it into their current application to do something with it, or others are just collecting the data and pushing it into a data warehouse, right? So we have to be able to support a variety of different applications. An example, and these are actually things that are being used in the industry right now, and to show how bad it is, are these, right? This is a circuit, or this is monitoring a pump, right? Or this is monitoring a boiler room, and right? These systems are they're working, but they're so ugly and they're so outdated, right? These systems or these technologies they've been using for their SCADAs are from 20 years ago, and for some reason no one has really improved these, right? And that's where Scatable comes into play. Now, the competitors and everyone in the market, they use a lot of outdated technologies. For example, they have monolithic designs. We have to deploy it in a virtual machine rather than a cluster. It uses Python 2.7, which is extremely outdated, right? It's you write Python 2.7 and then it gets compiled into Java, and then it runs on the JVM machine. Not efficient. So they're really legacy runtimes, and there's a high upfront cost, right? For us, we have to pay $40,000 for our upgoing license, and we have to also pay for support, right? There's also limited flexibility because like things like RT Sidewise, they don't have like enough dashboard flexibility and everything. So and there's like a property lock-in, right? If you go with them, you can't really change your solution, and it won't really get better unless you like constantly try to update your system, and that will cause you more problems rather than fixing it. So as long as it works, you're just going to keep it there. Yeah, this is a Ignition's UI, for example. Right now, what they do is you have your data points here, and then you have to go and drag and drop elements into the page to display something and connect it to that data point, right? It's really, really easy, and we used to be a good solution when web development and making websites was really hard, right? Back like maybe 10, 20 years ago. But now we have all these tools, all these AI tools like Lovable and everything, and if given the proper tools, they can make websites that are like a million times better than what Ignition can ever offer, or any of the other competitors can offer, right? The way they work is like they have a real-time module. They're like, because we need real-time data, and then we have an application maker because you have to build an application for yourself, and then you need to have alarms. So if anything goes wrong, you're notified by it. But then you also need historical data. So you have to have something that can track historical data and connect to your databases. But you also need code to be able to control your component using logic. So they added the Jython module. And then they were like, oh, but we have to make web applications now. So we have to make a web app maker. And then they were like, oh, but then what if someone wants to just make an API call to our system? So we have to make a web dev module, right? All of these, all in one place. You don't really need that much knowledge of software to know this is not the correct way to go, especially for like nowadays applications, right? This is a single point of failure. This goes down, your whole system crashes. That's not feasible. That's not good. And so we are having a slightly different approach at Scatable. We're trying to make it as simple as possible for you to use it. We either can host it on our cloud systems, or you can just download it on your own system, on your own Kubernetes cluster, using a Helm command. Even ChatGPT knows how to do it, right? You have a dashboard, really user-friendly. You can go add your devices. You can see all your devices per facility. And inside of that, you will be able to adjust and give the information of your device. And then we go fetch the information, decode it for you, and deliver it to your web application. And then you can just, like, for example, this is for a React app implementation. They downloaded our library and our SDK, and they just imported the telemetry chart component. And that component directly put that graph into their website, right? This can be seen on our demo page if it's still up. I'm not really sure what's happening with that, but I think we're changing because we're redeploying everything onto our cluster. I think that's down currently, but I hope it's going to get fixed soon. And yeah, so and you can do this for any graph, anywhere, any dashboard, and there's a bunch of options for you to go check out. The way this works with the flow and everything, our cluster takes care of all the processes. We connect to the device, we fetch the data, we decode it using our fast system, which will allow you to manually input a function on how you want this to be decoded, right? Because devices each have a different protocol, different procedure on how the data that's coming in hexadecimally has to be converted to a JSON, right? You can go in the dashboard, set this up. We use it deployed on our fast as a function, as a service, and then we call that function to decode the system for you, and then we prepare it for you in the post processor. And what we support currently is a React library for components and everything, a Python library for backend technologies, data science tasks, and all those types of stuff, and a MCP server, which will allow you to connect your data entry into our system to an agent or an LLM to be aware of what's happening. For example, if you want your LLM to be aware of the temperature of your facility, you can just connect the temperature through the system and then connect the LLM to the MCP, and it will take care of everything else. Right? Everything is supported in the backend. We just give you the SDKs and the tools so the developers you have can only focus on your business logic. You don't have to worry about all the behinding, what everything is happening, security, right? All of these are handled by Scatable, and it's constantly being worked on, constantly being improved, constantly giving new updates to ensure that the data that's being delivered is using the state-of-the-art technology. It's coming through as fast as possible, and it's secure. This is how we compare to others. We're cloud native. Obviously, we're not as known as everyone else, but we're cloud native, and we have really few templates right now. But in the future, we're adding these, and time will fix that. There's obviously threats in the industry, right? Like we're internet reliant. We have like a small brand, but we're pay-as-you-go, and we are developer friendly. So, and this is going to be connected to what's it called? To Lovable soon. So when you want to develop an application, you can just go in Lovable and develop your dashboard just by typing in prompts, because Lovable will have our library documentation. Current status of the project: the MVP is ready. We've had the first version released. We're a team of 7 right now developing this project. Hopefully by the end of December, between beginning of November to December-ish, we are releasing version 2, and then there's going to be some debugging stuff. So hopefully by end of December, we are going to have a production-ready system that's ready for people to implement. We've already started working on it, and we're really excited about it. And yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If there are any questions, feel free to email me. I would love to get to know you and talk about this idea and talk about Scatable. Thank you, and have a good day.